What's up, U.S. history students? Today I'm going to go over the first 2 weeks assignments and kind of what our direction is for the next month. Alright, let's just kind of go through this, and I call 6s across the board because I want everybody to bring their grades. If you got 5s, hey, don't just settle for less. Take it higher. Take it higher, alright? That's what we're shooting for here, and that's what I've created for us in these 2 PowerPoints I'm going to go over, alright? First off, units to redo. These are the unit final products we are going to redo. This week, 413 to 417, social movements past and present unit reflection. There's 2 cog skills. Do that now. If you haven't started it, do it. Week 2, 420 to 424, social movements past and present resume. There's 4 cog skills in there. Redo it. If you got 4s, bring them 6s. Week 3, 427 to 51, I want you to do the long civil rights movement DBQ over again. I have new documents, so you got the whole task is over. But dude, this is a great moment. So many of you have some zeros in areas. Let's capture this. Let's do it right. Then week 4, what does it mean to be American? Multimedia presentation. We're going to revamp that and do it in a different way, and kind of just have it, you choose something on U.S. history, interview somebody. Maybe we're going to reconfigure that, all right? Now, let's go through today's assignment, all right? The project reflection, the unit reflection. There's 2 cog skills: making connections and inferences, and norms and active listening. How do you do this? I'm going to go over that now, and then I'm going to go over the resume one, all right? Reflection task. Based on the notes you collected through your interviews, which of the activists do you think had the greatest impact on advancing social equality in the United States? Now, in red, these are my notes for you. If you are missing those notes, look up some of the major activists we've studied. Chavez, Stanton, Susan B. Anthony, Alice Paul, Betty Friedan, Harvey Milk. There's more. All right? Now, in your writing, you need to incorporate your activist, right, and someone else. Okay? Identify an activist outside of the one you studied. In your writing, and this is what you see in Summit, this is what I ask you: make clear, relevant, thoughtful inferences and explain their larger, what were their bigger accomplishments? What do they do for American society? 2, identify limitations of inferences based on gaps in evidence. That one's a little murky. All right, but what were some of the limitations maybe in their achievements? All right, and then use multiple examples to make connections to the larger idea you are arguing, like what their impact was. All right, so think of multiple examples of their achievements. Little soda break. Cog skill 1, making connections and inferences. So this is what the cog skill says: make clear, relevant, thoughtful inferences and explains their larger significance. Okay, what does that mean? You're demonstrating that by explaining their work. Who? The activist, and what they did. Connections. Connections to larger idea are clearly made through multiple examples. So what you would write is like, their major impact of fighting for gay rights is demonstrated through several. You need to name those achievements and successes. What do they do to get those achievements and successes? All right. Second cog skill, norms and active listening. Now, wait a second. Some of you looking down here like, Popovac, what's all this? Adheres to teacher and group enforced collegial discussion norms. You guys did an awesome job on the speed dating. Cool. You banged that out. Effectively facilitates progress towards specific goals and deadlines. Boom, you banged that. That was done in class. So what can I really grade you on here? Demonstrates active listening by making connections or responding to others' ideas or questions. So this is going to be shown through your written evidence on the activists other than the one you reported on. Do you have a lot of evidence on the activists that you didn't report on? That's what you need to bring in here, and I'm going to see that here. Okay, I want to give people 6s. So if I see you do it a little bit, cool, we'll sprinkle it on. 6. Oh, now, look at this one. Oh, this one's amazing. This is an example from a student in one of our classes. They look at Susan B. Anthony and Alice Paul. And if you look down here, there's all kinds of things written on Susan B. Anthony and Alice Paul. Specific examples. There's multiple paragraphs. This is what you got to do to get that 6. All right, to get that 6. All right, reflection example. Were there multiple activists? Yes. Explain larger significance. If you look back at it in a second, we will. Yes. Connections to larger idea or movement with examples? Yes. All of it is in there. Does the student have written evidence on the perspective of an activist presented by one? Yes. All right. It was Susan B. Anthony, Alice Paul. Fighting for women's rights, and specifically the right to vote. What does the student talk about they did? Forming organizations, staging parades, strikes, sit-ins. that the student have read. Yeah, if you look back at what the student did, it's pretty well done. So put a few paragraphs in there and get the 6. Whoosh. All right, that is for the unit reflection. Now let's move to the following week's task. I want you to revamp your resume. Some of you were missing things because you didn't do your annotations properly, things like that. So let's get into this bad boy. All right, let me get the presentation going. Assignment 2, American Reformer resume. Booyah. All right, there's 4 cocktails here. Contextualization of sources. We did that in class so much, you should know what that is. Point of view or purpose. We've done that in class, you should know what that is. But where am I finding that? In your annotated bibliography. Some of you don't have anything in your annotated bib. You need to do it there. That's where I'm graded. That's what I told you. Selecting relevant sources. I will see that in your resume, but then also you need to report in your annotated bibliography. Synthesizing multiple sources. Yes, you're going to do that with your 2 secondary sources, but also I should check them out in your annotated bibliography. All right, so contextualizing sources. What does this really mean? This is from the rubric, the Coxfield rubric. What is this really? Identifying the who, what, where, when, why of a particular source. This is for primary sources, so you need to find a speech from that person. Maybe an image. Somebody talked about an image. Delaney wanted to look at an image and said, well, all right, well, why is that image powerful? What does that image say? When was it taken? Where was it taken? Who took it? What is going on in that time period? You need to explain those things in your annotation. Booyah. Here's an example. This is Angela Davis. This is a source the student did. Look at all the information they put here. What was highlighted that gives contextualization? Bingo. See that red there? Yeah. The student did a pretty good job. Bingo. Boo. Yeah. There you go. Next. Point of view or purpose. What is it? This is what it says in Summit. What is it? You're explaining the perspective of your figure and why they believe what they believe. Tell us what they believe and why they believe it. This is a primary source. Here you go. Angela Davis source again. Look at this. Angela Davis was a member of the Black Panther Party. Part of that fight. Look at this. This student is saying it verbatim, just explicitly. This is awesome. Great example. Touche to that student. Thank you, whoever you are, Anonymous. All right. Now, the next one. Selecting relevant sources. You had to select relevant sources to answer the questions in your resume. If I look at your resume, yeah, you got it. But also, it needs to be explained in your annotation. The annotation has an MLA citation and about a paragraph, about 5 sentences, and you explain what did the source give you that was main information about that person's life. Shown in the resume if all necessary questions are answered, right? This will be seen in your resume, but I want to see it in your annotation too. Talk about it. You don't need to give me details of every little thing you found, but give me a general idea. Which source gave you background on their early life? Which source gave you more information on their successes as an activist? Here's an example on Angela Davis. This is A&E biography, right? Students got a lot of information on their background, right? What was done to demonstrate selecting relevant source? Annotation goes over main info that was gathered to gain a good understanding background on Davis. Too much to report. All kinds of information there. Cool. That's what you need to do for selecting relevant. Now, synthesizing multiple sources, seeing an annotation explanation. By your thoroughness and ability to combine sources into one complete resume. So you got your complete resume, but if I turn to the back and see no annotation, I can't give you points. This is like math. You are showing your work. Cool? Here you go, back to this source again. All right, that student has a lot of information, but when you go to the resume, this information will be seen in the resume. Yeah! All right, cool. I hope this little explainer video helps you, guides you towards the Unit 1 reflection and revamping your resume. I know some of you did not score 6s. Let's get them in there. Some of you have 0s. Let's get them up. All right? This is a chance. For you that might be behind or for you that want an A, let's do this. All right? Don't forget my number 1 rule. Keep it safe, sane, and legal. And always, always keep your distance. Peace. Have a good one. See you next week.